I don't think I've ever heard this many claims from an MLM rep, but I do think that she's not doing it to recruit people, and I do think that she genuinely believes that Plexus is the reason why she's medically doing better. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLM and some life content. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Plexus. Just as a disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only, just based on my opinions. Any links that I do have, I'll leave it down below. Now, there are going to be a few things in this video. First of all, I had someone send me a video of a Plexus Hun making quite a number of claims. I don't think I've ever heard this many claims from an MLM rep, but I do think that she's not doing it to recruit people, and I do think that she genuinely believes that Plexus is the reason why she's medically doing better. Before we get into the audio clips of that Hun, I do want to go over some of the things about the company. If you did not know, Plexus has been around for, I believe it's about 13 years or so, which is weird because I've never heard of them before. It wasn't until I talked to my future sister-in-law. She had asked me if I had ever heard about the company, if I've ever looked into the company. She told me it was a health and fitness MLM. And you guys already know, if you've been watching me for a while, you know how I feel about health and fitness MLMs, especially being an ex-Beachbody coach. If you are new here, then let me just give you a little bit of an idea. I was an ex-Beachbody coach, and the one thing that did not sit well with me my entire time with Beachbody was that people would ask me questions that I did not feel I could answer, so I would always tell them to talk to their doctor because they were asking me questions that I was not certified to answer. And a lot of these health and fitness MLM companies, they will not all of them, there are people out there that will say, please go speak with a professional. But I have seen some people answering these questions when they're not certified to answer these questions. So that's just how I feel about any health and fitness MLM. If you don't know what Plexus does, they have health and fitness products, so like nutritional supplements, they have skincare, they have personal care, that sort of thing. What I noticed is that they're very big on talking about gut health and gut microbiome. There was a podcast that I listened to. It was actually a Joe Rogan podcast. He had a doctor on his show, and they were talking about gut health and microbiome. The reason why I even listened to this podcast was because this was about, if you don't know, I have epilepsy. I have been seizure-free for a little over 2 years, but this podcast I listened to not right after, but I want to say about a few months after I had my last seizure. And I was looking into different, not necessarily holistic health or anything like that. I was just trying to do my due diligence and do some research as to why does this keep happening to me? Why no one in my family has ever had any neurological problem except for migraines. So where is this all coming from? So I started doing a ton of research because I had had enough at that point. I was diagnosed in 2005. So I started doing a lot of research, and I started listening to a lot of different podcasts and stuff. Now, if you don't know anything about gut health, I'm going to read it to you actually real quick because I feel as though this is worth mentioning in this particular video since they do focus a lot on gut health. And personally, I'm not a professional or anything, but personally I do think that gut health has a lot to do with health in general. So what is gut microbiome? Your gut microbiome is made up of the trillions of microorganisms and their genetic material that live in your intestinal tract. These microorganisms, mainly compromising bacteria, are involved in functions critical to your health and well-being. I do think that there is something to be said about gut health and gut microbiome. I really, truly do. And I think that that's why Plexus has been so, the products have actually worked. Hello, editing Monica here. My idiot self completely skipped over an entire article that I found in my notes. So y'all are just gonna have to deal with me like editing Monica going over this. So I'm very sorry because I'm not gonna set up my freaking tripod and camera all over again. It's been a hectic day. So there was this article that I came across, and it was written on December 12th of 2016. I forget which video I had it in, but I had it in one of my videos about an article that I found on the truthandadvertising.org website. Well, these people went after Plexus, and there was an investigation. So after all of that happened, this is just a breakdown of some of the things that are wrong with Plexus. Number 1, unsubstantiated health claims. Despite a previous FDA warning, TINA.org found more than 100 unsubstantiated health claims marketing Plexus products for everything from depression to cancer to Lyme disease. If you continue to watch the audio, well, not watch, but listen to the audio clips that I have, this is still going on. The second thing on the list, breast check recheck. Though Plexus's breast check kit's labels say it is recommended by doctors and nurses, the company provides no specifics on its website about exactly who is doing the recommending. Additionally, the American Cancer Society requested that Plexus stop using its name in promotions relating to National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which that's a pretty big deal. Number 3 on the list, product safety issues. The Environmental Research Center filed a lawsuit against Plexus alleging that the company has failed to provide clear warnings to consumers that some products were found to contain lead. That's concerning. The MLM has also faced scrutiny over safety issues overseas. Number 4. Over-the-top income claims. We all know that hunbots love to make income claims, so I hope that the FTC starts cracking down on all those claims. But anyway, number 4. Over-the-top income claims. TINA.org's investigation uncovered a plethora of social media posts boasting that they become a Plexus distributor. You can pay off college debt, stay at home with your kids, and work part-time, all while earning oodles of money. In reality, less than 1% of Plexus distributors earn 6 figures, and more than 3/4 of distributors make less than $500 a year, which you'll see that in a little bit when I go over the income disclosure statement. Number 5. Lawsuits galore. Plexus is entangled in a myriad of lawsuits, including those between founding members. The company has also filed multiple lawsuits against former distributors who left to join other MLMs. Plexus, what are y'all doing? Number 6, mounting consumer complaints. The FTC has received more than 800 consumer complaints about Plexus, of which more than 3/4 are from consumers who said Plexus repeatedly charged them for product shipments they didn't want. If you go on the BBB, so when I did go on the BBB, their website, I did see that they did have a good rating, but they did have a lot of complaints, and this was a few of them that I read. This is what they were. I wanted to go over their income disclosure statement because I'm just going to say it. It's very alarming, okay? And this is from 2016, so they haven't updated it since. This is the last one. There are 10 different tiers or ranks, whatever you want to call them. This is so sad to look at. For 82.41% of people, as an ambassador, you'll make an approximate, an average, whatever you want to call it, $301 in a year. Now, don't forget, if you're new to the anti-MLM movement, income disclosure statements do not include the expenses that you pay for your business, taxes, nothing like that. This is just income from whether it's from the product or whether it's from bonuses, that sort of thing. Then if you move on to the next one, which is senior ambassador, they make up 5.12% of the company, and their average annual income is $1,707 in a year. The next tier it's 8.96% of people. They make an average of $3,778. And if you keep going up, I'm going to say that for me, if I was to do Plexus, I would say for me personally, as a side hustle, I'd probably go into being a gold ambassador or senior gold ambassador. I think that those would be kind of okay for a side hustle. I mean, if this was my full-time job, it would have to be at least the $49,610 a year, which is senior Ruby ambassador. Actually, no, that's still kind of low. I would still strive for a little bit higher. But if I were to go to that rank, it's 0.24% of the company that make that. Now, if you look at the highest rank on this little income disclosure statement, these people, Diamond Ambassador, they make up 0.06% of people in the company. Those are the people that are making the big bucks, and their average annual income is $418,174. But again, they only make up 0.06% of people in the company. I really hope that when people go to join these MLMs, they don't make the same mistake that I made when I joined 2 MLMs, and I hope that they do their due diligence and they do look up at least the income disclosure statement, at least, because this just goes to show just how much or how little you will make with the company. To anyone watching, please at least look into the income disclosure statement, and if you can't find one, the company doesn't have to provide one, but if you can't find one, look for something else online. Look into the company. Do some kind of research. Don't just walk in blindly and think that you're going to make a ton of money, because that upline that's recruiting you, they're going to make money off of whatever you make or whatever you lose. Because if you lose money, you still have to purchase products. You have to be a walking advertisement. Your uplines are making money off of that. Moving along to, I really don't want to do this, but I feel like there are so many claims in this particular video. Make sure that you guys stick to the end of the audio clip, because I do have my own theory about this, and I have my own opinion about what she's saying. And also, if there are giant cuts, it's because it is a very long video and I only wanted to put in the claims that this person was making. So, but again, just make sure that you stick to the end of the video. But let's get into the audio clip.
At that moment, just to kind of like, oh, you have pain, we'll take this. It'll help you not feel it. But that didn't take care of the problem. So after my accident on the mountain, I had enough. I had so much pain in my muscles and in my soft tissue and in my joints, and so much swelling, and they literally had me on so many different steroids, so many different pain medications. They kept upping dosages, and it ended up giving me acid reflux and borderline ulcers and migraines and horrible congestion in my nasal passages and just brain fog. And it was just horrible, you guys. I was miserable. So here I am, being completely open and vulnerable. I found an amazing thing that has helped me with all of that, and that is why I've been posting about it. Plexus. These things are amazing. They're herbal supplements that I was totally skeptical about even trying, because literally all the doctors kept telling me, I don't know how to help you, try this, up this, and nothing was working. And they put me on morphine, and that was not helping, you guys, for the pain. Morphine, that's hot, that's strong stuff. 1 week of being on this Plexus stuff, I started with this thing called Triplex, which is 3 products instead of the 15 that I was taking daily from my other holistic doctor from California. And then I added in one extra thing, which was called Ease. I took the Ease 1 time, and it lessened my pain by 40%, 1 dosage. And within a week, I had no pain. And it was just, I was like in tears. I had friends that had told me about Plexus throughout like months of me going through all this stuff, but I was just like, yeah, okay, like that's great that it works for you, but again, skeptical. I'd been burned before and tried everything under the sun, at least I thought so. That was legal. But it worked. I was so mad that I didn't, like, at myself, that I hadn't allowed myself to try it earlier. And I can just tell you a list of things that it has helped me with. My gut health. I no longer have the acid reflux. I don't have constipation issues ever. I'm rarely ever bloated unless I go crazy with like dairy and bad for me food.
I'm going to pause it right here real quick because this actually just reminded me of someone. There is someone that I talked to who is very anti-MLM, but they were a Plexus rep and they are having a hard time finding substitutes because they did really enjoy the Plexus products, but they don't want to support the structure anymore. And according to them, the only products that have worked to help them were Plexus. There's one product, I'll look at the message that the girl sent me and I'll put it somewhere up on the screen. There's one product where if you don't follow the directions properly, it's going to have the opposite effect. So she had told me that, not to give too much information, but she had told me that she had a lot of stomach issues and passing certain things. So she took this product, and you're supposed to drink a lot of water with this product, and that's how it's supposed to work. But if you don't drink enough water with it, it has the opposite effect. And she actually ended up in the hospital because she did not drink enough water and she ended up in the hospital. So I know that she didn't follow the directions. I know that. So before anyone tries to come for me in the comments, I know that. But I think that with a product like that, it should not be coming from MLM reps. I think that there should be someone who is licensed to talk about it and to really embed it in people's head and tell them, if you don't use this properly, you're going to end up with a very big problem. And that's why when she started talking about that, I did want to mention that because I did think it was worth mentioning. So let's just continue.
Crazy with like dairy and bad for me food. Holidays, yay. But I literally, within a day or two of making sure I stay on top of taking my Plexus stuff, I feel great again. It's balanced out my hormones. I no longer get migraines. I don't ever get PMS symptoms for you ladies out there. Sorry, guys, for a brief moment. No cramps, no bloating, no breakouts, no mood swings. I rarely know when it's about to happen, and when I'm on it, it's just like another day, and it's been great. And I had been told by doctors in the past that I might have a hard time conceiving whenever I got married and wanted to have kids because my hormone levels were so off, and all the ovarian cysts that I had growing up left tons of scar tissue, and it would either be really, really hard to get pregnant or impossible. Well, here we are. I was on it for a little while, and then here we have beautiful. What else? Blood sugar. My blood sugar levels have evened out. I don't know if you guys know, but a handful of years ago, I was actually rushed to the hospital during my lunch break, actually. Blood sugar tanked to a level of 30, which they were surprised that I hadn't ended up in some coma. And I found out that I have reactive hypoglycemia, but Plexus is totally gut health. Again, it all goes back to gut health. Your gut is a huge percentage. I want to say it's like above like 70-80% of your immune system is in your gut, and this stuff basically heals you from the inside out. And it helps the rest of your body heal itself. It's not a cure, it's just a tool to help you pain management. Again, I got off all of those pain meds within a week. I rarely ever take Advil anymore. I think I did, and I was like, why did I do that? Because now I feel horrible again.
I would really like to know what kind of pain management she's talking about, if she's just talking about over the counter or if she's talking about prescription pain medicine, because I don't think that, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that you can just completely stop taking pain medication, like prescription ones, the really strong stuff, in a week and be okay. But maybe I'm just not as knowledgeable on that. But I do think that the problem with what she's saying in this video is she's talking about a lot of her personal experiences, and a lot of people, especially because you're going to hear it when we continue talking about it, but the amount of things that she's saying this helped with is going to reach a very, very wide audience, only because there are people out there who have these issues that she has, and they might not have all the other ones, but they'll have at least one of these issues. So I do find it a little concerning.
I do that because now I feel horrible again. Just the ease is great, and it's been helping with all the inflammation in my body, and the swelling that I had from the injury is gone. Insomnia. I had major insomnia before, and I got on what we call Mega X. I think I've posted about it recently. And it's our omega pills, and I literally, within a week of taking it, my insomnia is pretty much gone. Let's see, what else? My skin is clearing up. I no longer get major breakouts anytime, and I had started getting a little bit of eczema on my hands. That's completely cleared up. Some of you guys don't know, but I had my gallbladder removed in my early 20s, and it was always really, really hard for me to digest food after that, especially any greasy or spicy food. Don't have any issues with that anymore either. I've lost weight on this stuff, like not like a huge amount like I did when I had lost 65 pounds after doing the elimination diet. My hair and my nails are stronger than ever. Like, they're not as brittle, they don't break all the time, they grow like crazy. My hair isn't as dry and frizzy anymore. I love it. For you nursing mothers out there, or women that are hoping, milk supply. I literally am at 17 months, still going strong. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this stuff is safe. This stuff is pure. This is the best stuff I've ever been on in my whole entire life. So, I mean, there's got to be something in this. My doctors approved it and helped my anxiety. I forgot to tell you that. That's a huge one. My anxiety was really high through all of this stuff, but this has definitely helped even out my mood and mental health. Also, it also helps getting sleep. So, yeah.
Okay. Here is my theory on this whole thing. I don't think that all of these things were fixed by just Plexus products. I do think that probably some of the things have some kind of correlation with Plexus. Now, again, I'm not an expert. I'm not licensed. Do not take medical advice from me. This is just my theory and my opinion. But I do think that all of it kind of works together a little bit. Minus certain things, because when she talked about like prescription meds and when she talked about anxiety and that sort of thing, that is something that really has to go through a doctor, and I don't 100% believe that it was just Plexus. But again, just my opinion. I think that she genuinely believes that Plexus was the reason why she got better. She's not giving herself enough credit. And that's my theory, is that a lot of these health and fitness MLMs, and there's a reason why I came up with this theory. I'll talk about a personal experience. The reason why a lot of these health and fitness MLMs are able to suck people in is because of these types of things. People talking about what has changed in their life. I don't think that it's the product. I think that the product is maybe like a jump start, but I think that the reps, what they do is they start taking care of themselves. They start being more conscious of what they're eating, what they're drinking. They start looking more, because you're using supplements, so you start researching. Or even how she was talking about gut health. She probably started researching more about gut health, and she probably thought, okay, well, I have to change something in my life, in my diet, whatever the case may be. When I did Beachbody, I don't think Shakeology had anything to do with it. I was brainwashed to think that it was Shakeology. It was not Shakeology. It was my hard work. I put time in the kitchen to make sure that I was eating properly, and I put time into my workouts, because before I did any of this, I wasn't working out. I was not eating nowhere near what I was supposed to be eating health-wise. I was eating junk food all the time. I was indulging. I have this problem with binge eating. And I indulge, and my fiance has actually said things about this, because he said that I don't eat until I'm full. I eat until I'm satisfied. So that's the best way to explain me. And before I started being more conscious of my intake, I literally ate anything and everything, because when I was younger, I had a different metabolism. But that metabolism changed as soon as I hit 27, 28, I think it was. It just completely different. And I didn't adjust very well to that. And then I started being more conscious of my water intake, of my food. I genuinely think that she is a nice person. She doesn't seem like your typical MLM hun. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know her. But judging by how open she was, and judging by just the tone of her voice, the way that she presented it, and just the way that she talked, it seemed like before she even stumbled upon these products that she just seemed lost. I know that feeling. I do. And that's why I can kind of relate to her, because I was in the same situation with Beachbody. Thanks to me taking care of my health, so many other things started changing in my life, and I started seeing changes in myself as a person. And of course, towards the end, I ended up seeing, as soon as I became a coach, I saw a completely different person. But I'm talking about when I was just using the products before coaching. And when I started coaching and I started talking about, like, this is what helped me, I truly think that she's not a regular hunbot. I really don't think she's a regular hunbot. But yeah, so you guys let me know what you think about that. I know that she made a lot of claims, but I really think she believes that it's just Plexus. I really think that's what it is. Maybe it's just me. Maybe she is a typical hunbot and this is all just a sham and she's doing it to sell product. Maybe that's the case too. But I in my gut, no pun intended, in my gut, I don't think that she's just doing this to sell the product. I think that she really truly thinks she's helping people by letting them know about this. So, but again, that's just my opinion and my theory. You guys let me know what you think. I guess that's all I have for you guys today. If you have watched up to here, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, support me on Patreon, check out my merch, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye!